Are you ready? Hi, I'm Laurie Lee. This is Oso. Welcome. I'm going to jump right in here because I have some super exciting news and I want to share it with you, and I want to share with you exactly what I did to make it happen. Oh, there we go. Oso is settled. I lost 25 pounds in 2 months. I feel amazing, and I want to share it with the world. So here I am doing a video. First things first, medical disclaimer. I am not a medical doctor. I have no medical experience whatsoever. Please do not look to me for medical advice at all. That has been said. I was at a medical crossroads in my life. It wasn't life-threatening, but it was certainly life-changing. I was diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis. And that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back, because let's play a little game. I'm going to read to you all of the things that are on my medical ailment list. The psoriatic arthritis, pre-diabetic, pre-high cholesterol medicine, IBS, which I took medicine for, acid reflux, which I took meds for, hyperthyroid disease, which specifically Hashimoto's, which is an underactive thyroid, which I took meds for, nerve pain, degenerative disc in my back, herniated disc in my back, severe knee pain, 2 surgeries for TMJ, migraines, and allergies. I habitually took about 600 to 800 milligrams of ibuprofen a day, which is not good at all for you. So I get this last little diagnosis here, and a few other things happened, and I just had it. I said, I've got to do something. So I developed this little plan with my husband, because he's also overweight as well as I am, and his health is not nearly anything compared to mine. His health is fantastic, actually, compared to mine. And in the last 2 months, I've only taken 2 ibuprofen, and I've gone down from all those issues to just taking my thyroid medicine and occasionally allergy medicine. As you can see, we have lots of trees and plants and pollens around here, so I do take my allergy medicine as needed. But can you believe that? So I am really on the mend, and it all has to do with this roadmap that I'm going to give you. Now, I am going to read from this and take prompts from it, because if not, I would never be able to get through this with all the information properly, and I don't have a teleprompter, and I didn't memorize it, so that's pretty much that. So the start of my story comes with a breakdown and a pity party and all that, and then I put on my big girl pants, and I said, we need to fix everything. Number 1, we decided to identify our food mistakes. So I was at 190.5 pounds at the time, and I thought, okay, what am I doing wrong? Let's find like the top 3 food mistakes that we're making. So we came up with, for me, soda, processed foods, and large portions. I mean, I would eat huge portions at every meal, more than my husband. My husband, soda, sweets. He's the sweet, I'm the savory, and he's a grazer. And now grazing is actually a very, a lot of people will do, like, they'll diet and they'll graze, and it's very good, but when you're grazing the wrong food, it's not good. So there you go. Diet. I do want to talk about the word diet just very quickly, because the word diet just basically means the food you're eating, or the foods that you're eating for medical or weight loss reasons. So it's your diet. But diet has taken on this alter ego of this, like, it's this kind of like nasty, kind of daunting word that, when somebody hears, and they'll say, oh my gosh, what are you doing? You look so great. You've lost so much weight. What are you doing? And I'm like, well, I'm on this diet. And immediately they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. You are? and I'm like, yes, I am. I'm just so excited to share with you, what I'm doing, what I'm eating. Yeah, but you're on a diet. I don't want to be on a diet. Nobody wants to be on a diet. No. It's just the way I'm eating. So I heard somebody say the other day, and I thought, well, this is a kind of a good way to put it. They said it's mindful eating, and I thought, oh, okay, well, now that sounds a little bit better, because if somebody was to say to me, well, you know, I'm just more mindful in the way that I eat. Oh, okay, well, tell me more about it. So you start the conversation, and it's just it's a little bit better of a way than that negativity that's associated with the word diet. But I will use diet as we go along. So I came up with this personalized eating plan, and I broke it down into 3 categories, because the 3 categories that just logically made sense: food, liquid, vitamins, and supplements. So those are the 3. Food. I said, okay, what kind of food? So many ways to eat. So we decided to stick with the foods that we enjoy. And so if you're going to put a name to it, I would say it's like the Mediterranean diet. And I'll do another video and I'll give you like all the specifics, everything, you know, brands and portions, etc., etc. But if I did that now, this video would take like 3 days, and I'm trying to get through this as quickly as possible so that you guys get this roadmap and you can go on about your day. So foods you eat. So the Mediterranean diet is basically where we landed. The Mediterranean, you know, you have your fishing. So you have, you know, it's heavy in your fish, but you also, we added our chickens, we have fruits, vegetables, nuts, legumes. What we don't have are processed foods. So I was with my husband the other day at the doctor, and the doctor said, well, that sounds like kind of like a paleo-ish diet. So I went home and we looked up paleo-ish and paleo diet. And the paleo diet actually omits dairy from it. And we like dairy. So I guess it's paleo-ish without the dairy. I'm not ready to give up my cheese, and you know, we have our milk and whatnot. So we still have that in our diet. What we don't have, again, are the processed foods, and that's really what you want to stay away from. And so my grandma, first generation Italian, funny enough, she did not consume any milk whatsoever. I don't think she actually consumed dairy, but I know she didn't consume milk at all. She couldn't stand it. She would eat her cereal with water. I always thought that was so weird and gross, but you know, hey. Seriously, also? Did we just find a cat? Yes. It's coughing up cats over here. Sorry about that. So anyway, 95 she lived to. It was her heart that ended up going on her, but she was sharp as a tack, and I mean, her handwriting right to the end, better than mine. I don't know, maybe there's something to it, but I'm not really ready to give up dairy yet, so there you go. So what's next? Liquids. If you want to add calories to your day and you want to blow any diet you're on, liquid calories are the way to go. It is so crazy the amount of liquid calories that we ingest. And I mean, they're good. We ingest them because they're good. They taste good, right? They're yummy. And then they go down so easy. It's like, give me that, and yummy, yummy in my tummy. But they are really, really bad for you. So my husband was telling me the other day, he had read that if you were to keep your diet exactly as it is, the same, but you were to add 1 soda, not the diet soda, but a regular soda to your diet every single day for 1 year, you would gain 15 pounds. Do you understand that is a lot of weight for doing absolutely nothing other than down in a drink? And I mean, you go to these places, you know, and you have these like drinks that are this big. It's no wonder, right? No wonder. It's just, it's being more aware. So what do we drink? Lots and lots and lots of water. Lots. I also brew myself 1 pitcher of tea, unsweet tea, on the weekend. My kids call it dirty water. They can't stand it. Why do I only limit myself? Because I've had a little run-in with kidney stones before, and tea in the amounts that I was drinking it will cause that. So that's my treat. I just make my treat now. And then the other thing that we drink are B-A-I, and I like the strawberry lemonade. They're very low in calories. I mean, like almost non-existent calories. They're a little sweet for us now because our palate is changing, but it's nice. So let's say we cheat and I'm gonna do like a pizza where I normally would have a soda. I'll just have that instead. So it's just, you know, it's just change. Smart change, right? Supplements and vitamins. You need to get with your doctor if you are on any type of medications, especially when you start taking vitamins and supplements, because there are contraindicators with certain medicines that can cause a lot of problems. Don't take that for granted. I think I have a bug. Welcome to Southwest Florida. It was raining a minute ago. It was like drizzling just a little bit, but you couldn't tell. So we take a lot of vitamins. I take about 8 vitamins in the morning and 8 at night. I love vitamins. I feel like they are fantastic. I feel like they do a great job. We don't get sick. We feel great. You may have to tweak a little bit. The melatonin I was taking, apparently it does have a little contraindicator with my thyroid medication. Sometimes it will cause headaches, and it was in fact causing me little headaches in the morning. So I ended up stopped taking that. And then vitamin C, if you take too much, it'll cause you little tummy aches. So you just back off a little bit and your tummy's fine. So know about what you're taking so you can kind of figure out, oh, okay, this is what's happening to me. Okay, so this is probably what's causing it. And then you take it out and process of elimination, and you probably will figure it out. So just make sure that you're doing that. Okay, next, exercise. Oh my gosh, you either love exercise or you hate exercise. I'm convinced that there is literally no in between. But I'm going to tell you something. Exercise has changed my life. I could not walk. Honest to goodness, I couldn't walk. And when I walked, it hurt. When I'd get up out of a chair, right, I'd be like, I couldn't even straighten up at first. I just kind of walk hunched over because my back was so tight and hurt that I literally couldn't straighten up until I, walked, like 20 steps. And then it was just like, creak, creak, creak. And it was horrible. It was horrible. I was in chronic pain. I was frustrated. And I just decided, you know what? I have to commit to something. I have to commit to a process. I have to commit to something, because otherwise, what on earth am I going to be like in 5 years from now, 10 years from now? I mean, I have the medical records of an 80-year-old, and I'm 48 years old in a couple weeks. It's October. Can you tell? I have my spiders on. It's my birthday month. I love my birthday month. My birthday's October 22nd, just in case you wanted to know. I love my birthday. So I'll be 48. And I needed to change. Exercise videos, exercise instructors, anybody who's giving you instruction, listen to me. They're not your drill sergeant. Their instructions are suggestions. Did you hear me? Their instructions are suggestions. Do you know why? Because the most important thing in exercise is not to injure yourself. So quit. Is not to injure yourself. If you injure yourself, you are not going to be in a good headspace. You're going to feel defeated. And therefore, there was another cat. I'm just kidding. He doesn't eat cats. He likes cats. We just don't have them. You're not going to be in a good headspace. It's just not, it's a horrible thing when you get injured. And there is a difference between being injured and being sore, okay? And so the other day, I'm like, I'm an exerciser now. I'm a ninja warrior. And I had exercised for like 2 days, and I'm in the kitchen and I'm up against the counter, and I decided to do like this, but with my back, right? I haven't exercised these muscles in my back in like 25 years. And the next day I'm doing my cardio video, and I go and I reach up and I'm like, oh boy, did that hurt. And yeah, sure enough, I had like pulled my muscle-ish. It wasn't tragic, and I worked through it. Whereas before I would have been on the couch like, ugh. But no, I mean, I kept going because I felt like, okay, I'll keep going until I really feel something go wrong. And I kept going, I worked through it, and really all it needed to do was be worked through. But you have to know your body, because you have to know the difference between being sore and being injured. And there is a difference. And if you are injured, you really need to seek the advice of your doctor. I mean, that's where it's at. But I did have to get much worse before I got better. you know, I'm saying these words and I'm like thinking to myself here, I'm like, you need to exercise. And I'm like the wrong person, because I'm just like, you're going to get worse before you get better. Come exercise with me. It's super fun. It's hard. Okay, let's be honest. It's hard, especially when your body hasn't done certain things in a long time. That is why I suggest that you start below your fitness level. I did. With the videos that I was doing, one of them, the gal uses weights. Well, I didn't feel like I was ready for weights just yet. So I just used the resistance of my own body. You know, you see how I'm doing this? I'm pulling against myself. Okay, that's the same thing. And then you just start adding those weights low. I have chickens. Say hello. Rain, bugs, dog, chickens. This is my life. It's not without interruption, that's for sure. But I'm not stopping the video. We're gonna keep going. Doesn't matter. You don't care. You just want information, and I'm gonna give it to you. So, what was I even saying? Weights, and yes. So basically, you make the videos work for you. Make the instructors work for you. Make it work for you where you're advancing and you're not digressing. That's the key. That's the key. Because, you know, mentally, it's so much better to advance than to have to pull back a little bit. Obviously, you understand that. So modify your level and, you know, start below your fitness, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'm back where I need to be. There's just a lot of distractions. This is important. So the yoga that I do, I can't sit on a hard floor. So I'm just not there yet. It's kind of like, you know, it's just not my cup of tea at this point. So, because it hurts my back and it hurts my knees. But I love yoga, love it. It's one of my favorite things to do. So what I do is I have, you know, those exercise mats that they have like at the gym or like we had in school, remember that? And so I have these exercise mats. I use that. I use 2 yoga mats. I do like a crisscross applesauce with my yoga mats. That protects my back and it protects my knees. When I walk, I have a brace that I actually wear around my waist. It's a Velcro. It Velcros and it just kind of snugs me up, and I use that. I use the proper shoes for the exercises that I do, because there are actual different shoes that you use for cardio than you do for walking or running. And then lastly, I'm not anymore, taping my knees. And I'll tell you a little bit about that later on. But I take a village, folks. Yes, I do. But it's working. So, have you heard of the HIIT workouts, high intensity interval training? So they're all over the place. And what it is you do like all these kind of like crazy moves up and down, and you know, and then you go for a certain period of time, and then you stop and you just kind of like stand around for, I don't know, like 30 seconds or a minute or something. The clock ticks down, and then you start back up again, and you go. And you know, even my watch, right? If I go to put it in my watch, because they have the HIIT workouts on the watch, you have like this full disclaimer, and the watch is like, whoa, you are not qualified to be doing this. Back it up, baby. And so they have these workouts, and my goal. So this Beachbody company, you know, obviously all these people like beach bodies, and they all look, you know, all fantastic. Well, there's this one video, and it came out like a decade ago. It's called Insanity, and I don't know, it has like 8 videos to it. I actually have the DVD. Okay, so there you go. I've just dated myself. It's like, but that is my goal, is to be able to do this Insanity workout video. And I will be so excited the day that I get to do it. But I know that I'm not there yet. Where is my level right now? And I promise you, I work out to a lady who's, I'm pretty sure she's in like her 70s, but she looks fantastic. And she kicks my butt for a 30-minute cardio video every single day. Know your fitness level. because being realistic and knowing your limits means that you are going to be able to get up the next day and go back at it again. All right, what's next? Oh, okay, so this is good. Tips and observations. So I don't know if you're going to like this one or not. We'll see. Don't starve yourself. Your body needs fuel. But what is the best way to lose weight? Obviously, it is to not eat. No, that's wrong. You need to eat to lose weight. I know that just sounds contrary, but it's not. Your body needs that fuel, especially if you're exercising, because it burns it, and then it burns fat, and you gain muscle, and then everything in the end works out in the wash. But if I'm not convincing enough with that, I'm going to tell you, if you do decide to starve yourself, you could have these problems: low energy, hair loss, hunger, inability to get pregnant, sleep problems, irritability, anxiety, and depression. And I'm sure there's a lot more. Do you remember all those like wonky diets that were out there? The cabbage diet. No, the cabbage soup diet. Do you remember that? I never did that. I don't like cabbage. So, and I didn't do diets. Well, I didn't do diets, clearly. If you'd seen me 30 pounds ago, you were like, yeah, absolutely, you never did diets. But, yeah, so there's all sorts of, ways to basically starve yourself and trick yourself into thinking you've lost this weight. But there's a difference between losing weight the healthy way and losing weight the not healthy way. And the healthy way, there's such a big difference. It just, you feel so much better. I am a perfect example of that, of just gaining that muscle and the energy that comes with it, and how my ailments are just, they're just going away like that. That grocery list is just getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So I will tell you though, the first week of all this, because all of a sudden I decided, okay body, we're doing everything all at once. We're going to change the way we eat. We're going to start exercising, and I'm going to switch from being pretty much a night person to a morning person. So it was just like, hello, all at once. So the first week, my body was like, what are you doing to me? Where's my carbs? Where are my sodas? And why are we in bed at 8:30 and getting up before 5? What is the matter with you, woman? So again, the first week probably wasn't the best, but I made it through. And once you come through that tunnel, it's pretty much smooth sailing after that. All the rest of the stuff is just obviously being careful with yourself. Okay. I don't like scales. I don't like to weigh myself. I feel like the best way to feel defeated is to jump on a scale, because scales are tricky. Why is it that, you think you've lost like 10 pounds and you get on the scale and you've lost 2? But, because your body's changing. So what I did this time around, and I feel like it's really helped me mentally, is I decided, I was a 16 plus. So I was almost in the 18 range of clothing. And I found a pair of 14 pants. And I purchased them, and I couldn't fit in them. And I kept them in my closet, and every week I'd put them on, and I'd put them on. All of a sudden they fit. And then all of a sudden I was able to take them off without unbuttoning them. I was like, awesome sauce. So then I moved down to the next size. I moved down to 12, okay? And same thing. I was like, okay, wonderful. 12s, good, I'm set. So I am like between a 10 and a 12 right now. So I went and I got myself a pair of 8 skinny jeans. So if they're skinny, are they an 8 or are they less than an 8? That's something to ponder, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe they're less, or are they just tighter? I don't know. What makes them skinny? Somebody answer that question for me. Anyway, that's my next goal are my 8s. And I'm hoping with my weight, so I was at 190.5. And so you're like, well, how do I know that I'm at 165? It's because I will only weigh myself before I go to the doctor, because the doctor's scales, they are liars. They add at least 10 pounds every time you go there. So what I do is the morning, after, before I've tanked up on all the water that I told you to drink and everything, I get on the scale, I weigh myself, and then I get to the doctor's office and they're like, okay, jump on the scale. No. I say, I already weighed myself this morning. This is what I weigh. And generally they'll just let you go and you're welcome. That way you don't have to jump on that scale. Because like I said, those scales. All right. So that's that. Support system. Oh gosh, support systems are just so important, because you are transitioning into a new season, basically. If you're going to go through all of this and you're going to take this roadmap, this is a new season for you. Things are going to change for you, and I can't see how things aren't going to get better for you. Really, I can't. So you do need the support system, because like I said, remember the first week you're not feeling good, and then you're moving along and everything's going great, and then you maybe hit a week where you don't feel like you've accomplished enough, or you ate something you shouldn't have, and you're kind of like, gosh, I wish I wouldn't have eaten that. And you need somebody to cheer you on. And so what I have my husband and my 2 boys are amazing cheerleaders. And my husband's doing this along with me, but I know even if he wasn't, he's still this amazing guy, and he would absolutely be like, okay, you can do this. But the other thing is, like, my boys are 18 and 19. They could eat a truck full of food and they would still literally be the same size and still be hungry probably. And they still enjoy the foods that they enjoy. They still enjoy the pretzels or the cereals or this or that. And I obviously don't want to deny them that, just because, I wasn't able to control my portions. So they are very kind, where they won't eat certain things in front of me. Especially when I first started, I had more triggers, where I was like, oh my gosh, it looks so good. Oh, please. And my mouth was just watering, and I'll eat an apple, and you just feel so sorry for yourself. But now I'm perfectly fine. They could bring a pizza in and I'd be okay with it. And pizza is by far my favorite food. So, it all works out in the end there, but you need that motivation. And my brother, I'll tell you, he has a Peloton, and he's always talking about this Peloton. He does the bike. He loves it. He's in the community on his screen, and they have communities and camaraderie, and it's wonderful. And he travels, and I'm pretty sure he's able to bring his little Peloton people with him on his phone. And I mean, he just absolutely loves that. And that's where he gets his motivation and, again, his camaraderie from, and support. So, wherever you can get it. All right, we're almost done. I'm saving the best for last. Give yourself grace and don't set yourself up to fail. So these are really, really important, because when I say don't set yourself up to fail, like, what do I mean by that? It's don't set unobtainable goals for yourself, because when you set these unobtainable goals, you're starting down a path that is only going to end one way. You're going to end in defeat, and that's not what we want. So, like, I don't know if I touched on it. I don't know, like, alcohol. Let's say you drink alcohol. I'm alcohol neutral. I don't drink alcohol just because I don't like the taste. But let's say you drink alcohol, or let's say you drink coffee, or let's say you drink copious amounts of soda. It's very hard to go cold turkey on any of those things that have addictive qualities to them. So you absolutely need to wean yourself off certain things. And even processed foods, you can get very, very sick. And if you're drinking 8 cups of coffee a day and you're like, I'm going to cold turkey, you will probably get pretty ill, and you will not feel well, and your body is not going to react well to that. So slow and steady wins the race. I'm sure you've heard that before. Moderation. Don't exert yourself, and absolutely you need to be under a doctor's care. I'm going to tell you a little story. So I go to my doctor. This is a real nice lady, and she does the shots in my back. and I was getting these shots in my back, and they really weren't doing much. My back was just a mess, right? And so she says to me, I would like for you to see a physical therapist. And, you know, I think that a lot of people like me have that preconceived notion that physical therapists are only for people who have had surgery or have had some, you know, like big injury. Well, they're not. Anybody can go to physical therapists if you have physical problems, which I guess I didn't think through very well. And so she says to me in a very polite way, she basically says to me, you need to see a physical therapist and you need to start working on your health. Because, and again, she said it very nicely that basically I'm unhealthy and that I was fat. And I was like, I was not really keen on that information. And I thought, oh, really? And I have this like grocery list of medical ailments. I feel horrible, but I'm like, I am perfect the way I am. I was a little snippety about it, you know, not to her, but I was kind of like shut down a little bit. And I'm like, fine. So I get home and I tell my husband, I'm like, you know, she wants me to see this physical therapist. So he's like, honey, I really would love for you to go and see them because, my love, you are in so much pain all the time. Anything that helps you is going to be wonderful. And I said, fine, I'll go. You know, and I was like, I was like a little kid. I was a little bratty about it. I was like, I don't want to go. But I'm like, fine, for you, I'll do anything. So I'll go. So I made my appointments. I see this lady. So I have this physical therapist who's this fantastic woman. And what I did well there was I chit chat with her. What I didn't do well was anything that she told me to do when I got home. And I would go back to the physical therapist and she would say, did you do your exercise? And I'm like, of course I did my exercises. Yes, why wouldn't I do my exercises? They were wonderful. And she's like, good girl. And, you know, I kept going and I enjoyed our conversation. So, you know, I was going. She was doing her physical therapy thing. And, you know, we talk and my back was just horrible. But I'd always mention my knees. I'd say, my knees hurt. And they always hurt. They always burn. They hurt. They felt terrible. So one day she's like, you know what? Let's take a look at your knees. Okay, let's take a look at my knees, you know. So she puts me on the bike and my knees cracking and then she does this, she does that, she does her little hocus pocus stuff, and I'm like, okay, whatever, you know. And she puts me on the table and she's like, oh, okay, I got it. It's your patella. And I'm like, what's a patella? I mean, it sounds like a fancy Italian dish. And so she's like, no, in fact, it is not. It is, what's wrong with your knee is basically your kneecap is out of alignment. We need to zhuzh it back over, tape it, and then do your exercises. And as long as you do your exercises and your muscles start to surround it, they'll hold it where it needs to be. And then we untape you and, you know, you're off. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So she throws me back on the bike and I start on the bike, right? After she had taped me. And I'm like, where's the pain? What have you done to me? Oh my gosh. And I was just stunned. And I kept going. I kept going on the bike. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. So sure enough, it worked. And it was right in line with the same time that I got my diagnosis for my psoriatic arthritis. And everything just kind of came together perfectly. And I was off to the races. So next thing you know, I am, that's Sasha, that's my other dog. She's our farm dog and she protects our chickens. So clearly there's something back there that she's not very happy about that is upon the chickens. So hang on one second. Sash, baby. Quiet, honey. Sasha, quiet. Go lay down, baby girl. No. She's just like, no. Well, if you can continue, I can continue. So she tapes my knee, and I was taped for probably about 3.5 weeks. And I take it off on Sundays when I wasn't exercising, just to give myself a break, and then put it back on. I literally would leave it on, and I was taped for at least 3, maybe 4 weeks before I took it off and started exercising without it. And I've been without it now for probably a month, and I'm just doing amazing. So yeah, right? Isn't that fantastic? So and I'm a culprit. We live in this instant gratification society. We want everything now. I want everything now. Who doesn't want it now? I would love to snap my fingers and be in perfect health and shape and not have to do anything for it, but it's just not the way that it works. So we all need to get crack-a-lack in here and doing what we need to do to make these changes. But I will tell you, and I would have said, if I had made this video earlier, I would have said, I don't want to get up early. I don't want to eat these foods. And I definitely don't want to, exercise every single day. And, it's kind of like, again, pity party-ish. But now that I'm like I'm at that 60-day mark, and I think they say it takes 60 to 66 days to go ahead and form a habit. And I'm right there, and I can feel it, because when on the days that I don't work out, because you're supposed to give yourself a break, on those days I can feel myself itching to work out and just wanting to work out. So, it's exciting to be where we're at. So the reality is, it's not reality not to put the work in. You got to do it. So, but you're going to have your defeats, you're going to have your victories. But if you take those defeats with grace and you take those victories with joy, you are going to have that perfect formula. And you've got the roadmap. Just fill in the blanks with, what works for you. And if you do that, and then again, I'll make the other videos. I think, if you subscribe to this, then I think you get alerts, and then when the next video comes out. And the next video is going to be all of our foods. And then after that, exercise. I'll go in order. So that's that. All right. I think we're at the end. So we're going to enjoy this, weight loss, health gain journey together. I'm going to go see what Sasha's barking about. Ozo's right here. Just be the reason that someone smiles today. I'm off the air. Bye now.